welcome to my channel. It's Old School Book Nerd Sam, who is actually editing Sam because I realized I didn't do an intro where I actually even said what the frig my name was. But I also realized I talked that I did my whole Shorty September, woo! TBR, and then didn't say anything about what Shorty September is and who's hosting it. So Shorty September is a 1 month, non-competitive, chill as you want to be, readathon, reading challenge, with 12 prompts, all based on types of shorts, and it is hosted by Too Many Heathers. I have to look at my cheat sheet over here. Roving Reader and Marcella in the margins, and I'm going to put a link down below for the announcement video, and linking to their channels. So back to the video, jumping right in with my TBR. Thanks. Happy almost September, which is Shorty September, and me being a shorty, of course I had to participate. So I'm going to go through my September TBR, or at least my plans, and the Shorty September prompts and the books. But first, let's start with the books I have to read, and that is starting with The Frozen People. This is a mystery book from my mystery book club that I host in the store, from Ellie Griffiths. And this is about cold case detectives who travel through time to solve the cold cases. Sounds really fun. Love Ellie Griffiths. She's a really great mystery author. And then we have Natalie Sue's You'll Love It Here. This is a kind of a comedy-ish, with heart, about a young woman who's frustrated with her life, gets offered the chance to become like the super of an apartment complex, and the characters, the residents, are all batshit crazy. So this looks fun. This is for another in-person book club that I have at the end of September. Now, our Shorty September. Shorty September has 12 prompts, and I'm going to attempt to do all 12 because they're short books, and I'm going on vacation. I'll talk about that when I get to the last book, because I chose the last book specifically for that reason. So I'm just going to pull up the prompts and show you the books. So the first prompt is Crochet Shorts, independent publisher, and for that I am reading Those Who Vanish by Patricia Grace King. This is being published the first week of September by the University of Pittsburgh Press. Patricia Grace King is the winner of the 2026 Drew Hines Literature Award given out by the university. She is coming to my shop, my indie shop, to do an event in October, so I want to read the book in advance, obviously. And this is a series of short stories basically about immigrants and expats, war, missionaries. I think a lot of it is centered around Guatemala. So it's going to be a good read, not a fun read, I think. So I have some lighter stuff coming up. The second is Postal Shorts, Foreign Country. And for that, I will be reading A Second Chance on Earth by Juan Vidal. This is a YA book in verse, and it won Kirkus Best YA of the Year, Bank Street Best Children's Book of the Year, Read Across America, has starred reviews. It's about, I want to say Carlos or Marcos. I cannot remember the main character's name. I do apologize. You would think I had just looked it up, but I'm a woman in my 50s. I can't remember anything. So his father dies in an accident. I believe they're in Chicago. So his family is taking the remains back to his home country of Colombia, where the main character finds his father's favorite book, 100 Years of Solitude, and then proceeds to meet a young boy his similar age, who's a taxi driver in Colombia, who is also a fan of Garcia Marquez. So looking forward to this. Again, it's a short read. This is a book club read, again, for me, so it's a must-read. Then we have zip-off shorts, nature, because what else are you going to wear in nature but zip-off shorts? And we have Hot House Bloom by Austin Wohlers. I think I'm saying that right. And this is, it says, Hothouse Bloom follows a young woman who renounces her painting career and all her human relationships to become one with her late grandfather's apple orchard. So that screamed nature to me. Sounds very interesting. There's that. Keeping the theme of nature, we have animal character, Hairy Shorts. And that's not Hairy Shorts because you sat on dog hair. So this is called The Horse Dreamer by Holly Surplice, published by Scholastic. It's coming out in November. This is an ARC. My sales reps have been raving about this. It looks absolutely gorgeous with heavily illustrated chapter book. And it's about a young girl who befriends a horse. Or maybe it's imaginary. We'll find out. Next up, we have Runway Fashion Translated. So I already have another translated, at least one more translated book on here. But this one, the title and the cover got me when I saw it at Winter Institute, and I have yet to read it. And it came out this month. So Cooking in the Wrong Century by Theresa Prauer, Austrian. And it says, an evening of perfect preparation, a night of an uninvited chaos. Sounds fun. Then we have Shorty Shorts, Something Outrageous. Now, I'm not an outrageous reader. Most of what I have are cozy mysteries or women's lit or middle grades. So I took a chance on what we would define as outrageous. Again, there's no rules for Shorty September, but this one says this is short stories, another set of short stories. And it's called The Good Eye by Jess Gibson. And it came out in May. This says, Jess Gibson brings us 12 probing sideways tales that wrestle with the limits of perception and possibility. So to me, that's outrageous. And then the men and women in her stories confront contradictory forces. The beautiful can turn grotesque. The exalted can fall into disgrace. The genius can be proved an imposter. Sharp, funny, surprising, and utterly original. That's my outrageous. To me, it's a little off of my norm. So then we're getting down there. Hometown Shorts. Local area. None of my short books are set locally to me, or even in my state, as far as I know, or local authors. But I did find something that I consider local. It's called Where Love Leads. It's written by Mary Dana Hinton, who is the current president of my alma mater, a small liberal arts college in Virginia. And this is about liberal arts and the importance of liberal arts and the leaders of liberal arts. And I'm a firm believer in a liberal arts education for everybody, at least as a base to whatever you're doing. And I'm looking forward to reading this. So I'm considering that local because she currently resides in my hometown. Then we have a Cargo Shorts, Helpful in a Pickle. I struggled to find something for this, but then I thought, you know what? You know what's really helpful in a pickle? To be lucky. I went way out there. Again, no rules for Shorty September, so way out there. And this is about two girls who are moving from a large city to a small town to become a blended family. This is a new, I believe, yes, it comes out in October. This is a new imprint from Scholastic, specifically designed for readers that are like 12, 13, 10, 11, 12, 13. So what we would call our tween readers. And I'm looking forward to reading this because way back in the day, there was a bunch of tween books that came out, and I was like the person that was like recommending them to other bookstores and stuff. So I want to get back in my tween era. Then we have Patchwork Shorts, Genre Blend. And this one was an easy one for me to find because it's a genre I want to get more into and a genre I absolutely love. and that is a cozy fantasy mystery. And it says, "Be gay, solve crimes," by Oliver K. Langmead, I think, and it is The Killing of a Chestnut Tree. And it says, Havelock Harper, gentleman detective extraordinaire, takes 19th century England's toughest cases, mundane and magical. Sherlock Holmes could never. But this victim is queer even for him. Someone's murdered a talking tree. There you go. Fantasy mystery mix-up, mashup. Denim shorts, modern classic. So modern classic to me could be two things, like a current book that will eventually become a classic, or something in the last 50 years that now is considered a classic. I'm going with interpretation one, a current book that could be considered a classic eventually, and I'm going with Dominion. And I chose it because it is a finalist for the Penn Faulkner and the Women's Prize and the Center for Fiction, and was a Good Choice Readers Award. It was on a best of list for 2025. Just came out in paperback, and this is about black Southern minister who's privy to some secrets and how he confronts those secrets or deals with them. Kind of shocks his conservative community, and that sounded really interesting to me. So, and my last two. So there's some dark books on here, and I wanted to have some fun. So for half and half, book and movie. So you're supposed to read a book and watch a related movie or the movie the book is based on. This is not, there's no movie, and it's not technically a shorty. The first book is Austenland by Shannon Hale. Came out, it feels like a bajillion years ago. We might be on the 20th anniversary. I can't believe we're on 20th anniversary. Maybe 15th anniversary. I know the movie came out in 2013. It's a book that I've read several times. It's a movie that I've seen several times. I have the first book. I probably will not reread the first book. There are new editions that have just been published by her publisher, Bloomsbury, I believe. So this is the follow-up, and I read it when it first came out, like I said, a bajillion years ago. So I'm going to count this as a shorty because the first book is a shorty. Second book is longer. It's 320-something pages, so not technically a shorty. But again, no rules for Shorty September. And then watched Austenland. So not quite book and movie, but it's a book and a movie, and it's not short. But it's going to count for Shorty September for me. And then lastly, we have a mystery thriller. And like I said, I have a lot of kind of dark-ish, what I would call dark books. Not fun books, but not fun and light and, So I'm going with, for mystery, The Quilt Whisperer Investigates. And this says, let me just read the back real quick. A quilting expert at a small-town Massachusetts art museum stitches together clues for crimes amid the glow of New England fall in this crafty new cozy mystery series. So I picked this. This was an easy pick for me. I was going to pick it this month even if I wasn't doing Shorty September and it didn't fit one of the things, because cozy mystery, light, fun, New England, fall, quilts. I am going on vacation, like I said earlier. I'm going on vacation to New England in the fall with my mom, who is a quilter. So I'm going to read this and then pass this along to her, and we'll both read it on our vacation. That is my 12 Shorty September books, but I have one more. If I can get through all of those, I really want to read Taipei Story by R.F. Kuang. It's been sitting on my TBR since June, I think, maybe May. Still haven't picked it up. I was hoping I would pick it up for ARC August. There's still a week left in ARC August. I have 2 more ARCs to get through that I really want to get through. So my goal is to have this read as soon as possible. I have not read any R.F. Kuang. Of all of her books, of reading the summaries of all of her books, this one seems like the one that's most me. Most me. So I'm going to give R.F. Kuang a try. hopefully in September, maybe even in August. I'll let you know. That's it. That is a whopping 15 books. Let me see if I can lift them up here. Oh, 15 books for me to get through in September. That doesn't count any of the audiobooks. I might be able to find some of these in audiobook. I'm very much a mood audiobook reader, so I don't pre-plan my audiobooks really. Plus, then I need to go through and figure out which of these fit her kid prompts and work on that. Those are the only two current challenges I'm doing. I know that Leandra TBR 0 is announcing her fall TBR-a-thon coming up soon, so hopefully some of those will fit for that. If not, that'll be my October. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy your Shorty September. Enjoy short books. Enjoy short people. Have a great read.